Hello there. About a week or so ago, I had a comment from a user called Hail Rider that was just asking me, how do you use the detailed surface scanner? Because I'd done a video where the detailed surface scanner was involved and hadn't actually shown how to use it, and it's a pretty simple subject. But I decided I typed in an answer form, and as I was typing it in, I began to realize that there's a little bit of detail to it. And since I screwed up and lost a couple hours of video from Unreal Tournament 3 the other week, I decided, well, this could be some filler. I could do a video and explain how to use the detailed surface scanner. So I guess I can do that from here. There's really not a whole lot to it, but it is surprising how much detail you get into when you start looking into these things. Well, first of all, you gotta equip one. I'm not going to show you doing that. You just go to any station that has outfitting, and most stations with outfitting will probably carry a detailed surface scanner. It's a pretty common thing. Maybe they don't necessarily all have it, but most of them will probably have it. Here it is. There's your detailed surface scanner. This one only takes up one cargo unit, whatever that is. I guess that's one cargo unit as opposed to 4, 16, or 32. They're really small. I don't think you can get one bigger than that. I know you can engineer them. There's an engineering for them where you can expand the probe search radius. And apparently you can also get a pre-engineered one that has 2 expanded probe scanning radiuses applied to it. You'd have to go to a technology broker for that. I would definitely have to do a search to find somebody to do that. I mean, if you use these things enough, then maybe it would be worth it to go to that trouble, but I don't use these very often, and I just pretty much use the standard one. So yeah, you buy one, you equip it on your ship, then, before I go further, probably the first thing you should do before you do anything else is go into your options, go into controls, go into ship controls. Go to the very bottom of ship controls. You'll find this section labeled Detailed Surface Scanner, in which there are way more settings than you might think would be necessary. The only ones here that I really use are the setting for mouse. These settings tell it that I'm going to use the mouse to maneuver the targeting reticle. I use that. And that's mostly it. All these other things I really do not use at all. Mouse sensitivity, that's a good one to set. There are settings in here I did not even realize were here. Here's a toggle front and back view. You can use this to get a view of the back side of the planet when you're scanning it, which is very useful, and I've never used it. Good to know about. There's a setting in here where you can select between multiple planetary heat maps. I didn't even know there were multiple planetary heat maps, but apparently there are. And apparently at some point I set controls for these things. I have no idea what the benefit of having multiple... I don't even know what the benefit of the first planetary heat map is. I have no idea what it's for. But these would be good things to know, and if you know, good for you. And I should probably look that up someday. But I'm just trying to give a basic understanding of this. I'm not gonna like do research on this or something. I'm just showing you how to use this. Okay, as best I can. So the first thing you should do is go into options and set up those controls. After that, you should buy the thing and equip it on your ship. After you've equipped it, you need to go in here into this menu here, go into fire groups, and you need to assign this. You need to assign the surface scanner to a fire group. Now I've got it in fire group number 2 here. You might notice that it's in the same fire group with these weapons. That's okay, because the surface scanner is only used in analysis mode, not in combat mode, so these are not going to conflict. These are used in combat mode. These two are used in analysis mode. No problem. You don't have to switch between fire groups at all in this. You don't have to. Very convenient, I would say. Okay. That's pretty much all there is to setting it up. Then all you got to do is go find a planet to scan. And I like planets with atmosphere. This one looks more interesting. He's probably further away though. He is a little ways out there. Let me get into analysis mode. This will take a minute, so I guess I could turn off the recorder until I get there, but yeah, sure, I'll be right back. Okay, well, back again. I am approaching my target right here, and I kind of hope this isn't one that I've already scanned, because that would be annoying. I should probably have checked that before I came over here. There is an unexplored planet over there I can go to, I guess. Anyway, I can't scan anything else. If you look in the lower left-hand corner of the HUD, you'll see the surface scanner there. You'll see that it's red, and you'll see that it says out of range, and that just means that you're too far away from the scanner to use the detail surface scanner on it. You have to get within a small fraction of a light second of the planet before you can use the scanner. You have to be pretty close. And you also have to be in super cruise mode. And you also have to be, well, you also have to be throttled way down. You have to be moving as slowly as possible. Okay, now I'm gonna throttle down a little bit. We're getting close. Now the surface scanner thing says too fast, which means I need to throttle down. And now it's turned blue. Now that just means now I can use the surface scanner. So now you're just going to use your trigger button just like this was a weapon. And that's going to take you to this screen here. And now I'm using the mouse to control the sighting reticle. That's what those settings and options were for. There's another setting and options that I probably should have mentioned that you also need to set. That's the one to get out of this screen. Now that you're in this screen, the only way to get out of the screen is to use whatever control you've bound to get back out of it into normal mode. In my case, I believe it's Alt and then a button on the joystick, and that takes me back. And then I have to hit that button again to get back into analysis mode, and then I still want to use the scanner, so I need to get back into it. Oh goody, I haven't scanned this one yet, so I can demonstrate this. Now, they've made a little mini game out of this. The idea is that you get money for scanning these planets, but you get more money if you can scan them using a minimum number of probes. In this case, if you look in the lower right hand corner, you'll see where it says efficiency target is 6 probes. Well, they'd like you to be able to scan this planet in 6 probes or less. Using 6 probes or less, and in that case you get a bonus I think you get a bonus when you turn in this exploration data you're getting from all this. And that implies that there's some challenge to scanning these planets in 6 probes or less. The number of probes for their efficiency target just depends on the size of the planet. Real small planet, it's going to be 2 probes. Then you get ones that are 4 probes. This one's a 6 probe. I've seen them as high as maybe 8 probes. I'm sure they probably go higher, but I don't run into planets that big too often. So anyway, some of the controls in the options there would probably be useful for this. For example, the control for looking at the backside of the planet, which I'm triggering now, and it doesn't seem to be doing anything, which is kind of odd. Okay, fine. Well, that one doesn't seem to do anything. All right. Well, as far as I can tell right now. Uh, so yeah, another thing to notice about this, about the controls here. Look at this reticle. Notice that when I'm in the center, it's just a big blue circle and a little blue circle, and then there's a central dot and a line to orient you to give you an idea of where you're pointing in relation to the planet. As you move this reticle away from the center of the planet, you'll know this little horizontal line, or this perpendicular line. And you'll see how it starts up around here, and it moves through the center of the middle reticle and goes down to the back there, and eventually, if you go far enough, you'll see the word miss appear there. Okay, this is a targeting aid. This is giving you an idea of what's going to happen with your probe when you launch it. These probes, when you launch them, are affected by gravity. Now, if I launch a probe right in the center here, it's going to go straight out. It's going to land right in the middle of that disk that I see, and it'll spread out from there. I don't really want to do that in this case. It's not too hard to get there's patterns there's patterns you can follow to make these efficiency targets. On this on a 6 probe planet, the pattern for the pattern I use is something like this. I go straight up until that perpendicular line is right about there, in that kind of a position, in that center reticle, and use the trigger button for the surface scanner to fire a probe. So boom, fire a probe, and there goes the probe. That he leaves a big colorful trail. You can see if you watch him, you can see he's affected by gravity. He's curving down. That little perpendicular line is kind of like a horizon line. It means that you're firing over the horizon now. So that probe has gone over the horizon, and he's more or less kind of towards the back end of the planet. All right. Next, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fire one right in the middle of the planet. All right. I'm going to fire 3 more here. One here, and one here. So to the left until that perpendicular line is right in the middle, to the right until the perpendicular line is right in the middle, and down below until the perpendicular line is right in the middle. And that usually does it. I should be able to get it from that. All you have to do is get the percentage number in the lower left-hand corner up above 90%, and that's it. You've done the job, you know. Yep, there we go. We're done.
Surface scan complete.
If this were a two probe planet, then it's just one here and one here, and that'll do the job. If it's a 7 probe planet, it's a similar pattern to this one, but I would probably add another halfway one up here maybe, and I might end up doing another one. Well, actually, I think with the 7 ones, I go all the way up here to get way the hell back on the other side. You might have to play with this a little bit to find the patterns that work for you, and it's possible that this button for looking at the back end of the planet might come in handy, although it's doing nothing for me for sure. You'll notice that blue modeling thing that just came up on this, that I believe is your heat map. I'm now using the buttons to switch between heat maps, and I've never used these buttons, so I don't know what this is. It's switching between between bacterium, and between stratum. I have no idea what this means. In any case, I've done everything I can do from this screen, so I'm going to get back out of here. See, I've gone back into analysis mode. I can still see my heat map. I'm switching between heat maps. It's doing absolutely nothing. So I have no idea what I'm talking about at this point. Okay, well, what is this good for? Well, when you use your detailed surface scanner, you get access to a few features on here that you wouldn't normally see, like this, minor wreckage, threat 3. That's something I could go down there, I could target that, I could go down there, land, shoot a few people, steal a few things. It's no big deal. Here's another minor wreckage. This one's yeah, there's not a whole lot here, but you're gonna find stuff. You're gonna find stuff doing this. Unidentified signal source. Okay, that's an off-planet thing. I don't care about that. Maybe I'll go down here. Minor wreckage usually means it's like a wrecked space buggy, one of those land buggy type of things. And there might be some guys around there with guns that you can go down there and shoot. That's pretty much all it is. There's other reasons to use the scanner, like exploration, to gather exploration data. I'm sure there's missions where it's involved. But yeah, that's the basics of it. Beyond that, I have no clue. What advantage is there to switching between heat maps? I have no idea. I have no idea what this is good for. I'm guessing that at this point, switching between heat maps on this particular planet is of no particular advantage. That's all I can guess. But yeah, anyway, that's about all I wanted to show you. So yeah, have a good evening.